Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4 Old World Blues. Today we're doing something special. We're doing The Faithful and the Salted, made by Kitware 4. I'm going to make a link for it so you can see the Steam page for it. It's massive. I'm not doing the main Utah faction that the mod is based off of. I'm doing a branch off, which I'm doing the 80s. The normal is New Canaan and White Legs. That's the massive mod that they made, adding on to those two. This one I'm doing is the 80s, which is Burning Rubber. Adds a shit ton of content for the 80s. But let me go through this. Ever since the NCR violently removed the 80s from Sacktown, they have stalked Utah over vigorously, or more vigorously. Their hatred for the false republic growing as the years pass. Worshipping the I-80 is deeply rooted into their culture, and they strongly desire to reclaim the road. War will soon be upon the 80s, and their war bikes will roar across the wasteland. There's a debate amongst the men as to which glorious conquest to undertake first. Shall they ride to Ruby Valley and finish what they started, reclaim the Holy Road from Vault City, or sack the decadence casinos of Reno? They have a bunch of cool stuff. If you've ever been on I-80, it's pretty cool. It goes like right across, and it's massive land road, just like gas stations every like less than a mile. It's cool. It's really cool. You could just cruise on that sucker. It's nowhere near Vegas, unfortunately. It's just like if you want to go across all the way to Utah kind of thing. But here we're going with this. And I'm doing this on a new resolution, so it's possible to see more numbers clearly, and so it's not whited out. I hope this works well. Please let me know in the comments if this is jarring, and I'll do what I can to fix it for the next videos. So, the Nevada Road War. The hardest point of the Exodus, the Nevada Road War, is the name given to the numerous raids and uncounted destruction the 80s wrought on their way, vengeful furies after being driven out from their homeland. Now their homeland is Sac City, which is Sacramento. Right there. So they obviously went through this area. Vault City, Jackals, Delco, Ruby Valley. Boom, right there. Wendover. New Hammond, Eastport, Ruby Valley Refuge, New Canaan. These people are from here. Now, here's some cool stuff. So, normal training, but they're riot control. They have metal armor, and then they have metal armor Mark II. Normal weapons like saw-off, so Mad Maxi. U.S. Army combat shotgun, that's cool. So we'll go that way. Pancor shotgun, are you kidding me? No, that's funny. Other than that, they have bighorns here, so you can have cavalry of bighorns. Their power armor goes Raider frame, tribal power armor, advanced Raider, and then just goes into normal. So we got the same here for support. Now here's where it gets a little different. So they added new portraits to some of these. So War Rig, Wasteland APC, Great War APC, Wasteland car, military car. Down here, doesn't matter. But you got Recon tank, Cruiser tank, Battle tank, and then Great War tank. So that's cool. And robots are the same. Who cares? Except for that Assaultron Mark II. That's cool. Those are cool. Same thing for here. Vehicles or aircraft are the same. Naval. A little different on the battle barge and such like that. That's cool. I think that's from that time. Everything's the same here. Same here. Oopsie. Level techs. And then tribal. So with these, you get access to tribals. So we're going to do my normal route, which is improvised tech, planning, and construction basics. Got to build ourselves up a little bit before we start pushing out. And then right on through. We got Oasis, so 80s infantry, 80s war riders, 80s heavy raider outriders, metal armor. These ones are pretty good. So these are outriders. Well, these are war bikers, but with armor. And if you look at them, they're the... I could probably turn those into that. Mobile enforcers. They got 61 breakthrough, 89 defense. Probably increase that. Got New Canaan, white legs, timekeepers, tar walkers. Let's go. What we left behind. Man for man, car for car, the NCR could never stand up to the heroes of the 80s. We were the bards of the highway, roaming as we pleased across the open road. But the NCR burned the corn we used for fuel, sabotaged the roads we traveled, and were simply too numerous to stop. We drove east seeking open land along the road we worshipped. Some of the tribes still wished to head west, but what of them? Look at their success since we headed east. Even as they drove us from our homeland, we ravaged their allies during the great exodus through Nevada, 100-fold for the tales of respect and fear told by those who were our foes. 100-fold more for their own tales of greatness and daring. The legends of the Nevada Road War. For now I shall tell you the story of time in the 80s. Stole scientists from Vault City, kidnapped merchants from New Reno chop shops, and picked up raider buddies along the way. Stole scientists. Skip tutorial. Utah Road War. The Utah Road War was the last step on their journey. Finally arriving in the new state, they wasted no time continuing their raiding upon the local tribes until they finally found vast plains suited for the untamed riding. So it's LucasArts Full Throttle, pretty much. The Utah Road War. Wounded, limping, our nation lay in shambles. The dishonorable NCR destroyed us at Sac City. They came with guns, explosives, flame, and steel. They killed our greatest warriors and our most honorable citizens, our elders and our children, our past and our future. But since we arrived in Utah, we have trampled indeed. Our beloved sheriff in the car, laid out by his driver's seat, the great gas giver. Far-fetched treasures were piled upon him and precious gear. I have never heard before a car so well furbished, with battle tackle, mighty guns, and bags of caps. Little over can win glory before death against our foes. Down with New Canaan! Okay, white legs are ancient foes. Fate goes as it must. You look like Cazadors already ate your cheeks. Not all the 80s were happy to stay in Utah. Thunderbird, one of the greatest warriors of the tribe, calls for his warriors to drive west into California and claim their rightful birthright. At the epic feasts and races, he dueled in car and word with Flagman. Thunderbird's called the elder, a cunt-bitten coward, naturally weak, dismal-eyed, and unused. As kneeler on his racks, renounce remorse, your rhythm's sorry shrieks. My car's exhaust can make a sweeter sound. The quarrel. The quarrel. It was a sunny, cold day when the race took place. Before it began, Thunderbird and Flagman stood before the crowd on top of their cars. Usually, Thunderbird demanded the inner track, claiming it was for recent victories. Flagman said it was his lane by right. The dispute escalated into a sacred word battle. Some of it was recorded by the captured scribes. As Thunderbird said, puny, paltered mole rat, slave for half a glass. Henpecked cowards not a worth a drunkard oath. Canaanite merchants bid you come kiss their ass. They hold no love for such useless loafs. We know you beg more cola and vino than any drunken in distant Reno. Pity the woman who fight you off. You're a chieftain, please I scoff. But Flagman was unimpressed, replying, Sinking sparrow of whom you blow your boast, pretending to write such slanderous screeds, raw-mounted rebel, you fall down at jousts. My songs of conquest, I loose your deeds. You, passenger, master only a mead, backseat driver, go live in a town. Say have mercy, or I'll run you down. Leave you rhyming rebel with your wits weed. Can your car even go a cruising speed? Thunderbird deserved the image. Well, I'm privy to Thunderbird, so I gave him the inside. The Oasis! The Oasis, also known as the pre-war town of Wendover, let the 80s finally rest and gather their strength. Again, after straining exodus from their homeland, out for blood against the NCR, but still weakened. They know they had to make a choice. Okay. Really doesn't take long. Okay, the Oasis. The 80s fled east for new California Republic assaults on their base. At long last, they found a home pre-war town. Okay, I read this. From here, the 80s ruled with courage and greatness. Here, the drivers' heroic campaigns. Behavior that's admired is a path power among people everywhere. We're gonna settle down, try to make an empire. So, behavior that's admired is a path to power amongst people everywhere. So, construction speed. Settle down. First things first, let's get that goddamn Ruby Valley. Ruby Valley would look great under our control. Many of its inhabitants fled from us on our great drive east, so let's finish the job. Alright, let's set up Thunderbird. There we go. Once they get settled. Discovery! Dude, you gotta see this. I'm telling you, Flagman is gonna lose his shit in a good way when he sees this. I found it while exploring for new biker routes we could take. Dude, relax. I'm sure it's nothing all that serious. Nah, man, you will see what I found during my drive. It's oftentimes that the 80s make amazing scouting due to their ability to travel and find territory that goes through their dangerous terrain and find things off the beaten path no sane man would desire. It is why former 80s are valued as guides and scouts, though few former of them would live enough before the 80s members killed them via running them over or throwing them off the road. The two walked over to what they saw a motherfucking soda company. Son said sarsaparilla. The other one smiled and hugged his friend. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. We could get any car we want if we report this to scavenge the ruins, he said as he childlike excitement at this. Eastern Nevada and most of the state of Utah have economic buildings fully in this condition. Most are destroyed, so the 80s are very willing to pay scouts or members of the nation if they find something like this still around. A coin. We are rich, I tell you. Rich, 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 rich. We get a cat production. Why we ride. The sounds of repairs and works were ringing hard and heavily all over the chop shop, with people running all over and around, modifying them and upgrading them, scrambling like hell to prepare. War was on the horizon, as there were new and interesting raiding opportunities. They were too good to not resist. Fuck. So little time before these old fucking tensions would boil over. People were running all over their shop. Six looked on our workers who were installing new tires, reinforcing armor plates, checking engines, inspecting airbags. This is all we needed. She eyed her own beauty. An improved zip racer with that custom sleek cherry red color that took ages to find in the wasteland. Upgraded with a custom engine that took up more than 20% of the car's weight alone. She does not do it for the derbies or the combat, but to travel. Vicky sighs as she closed her eyes. Her dad was a mechanics, same as her, and taught her the lessons. A's were born to ride, to drive, and move to the wasteland and explore however they see fit. If a man or woman cannot drive or refuse to, they are to be looked at with contempt. If they cannot change a tire, fuel their own car, or work a shift stick, they are eyed like nerds. The engine of the cars, motorcycles are levers of the road. Soon it would be time for them to ride again. That thought filled her mind, and she could not help but have a devilish grin. May whatever religion those who stand in their way have pity, because the 80s will ride hard and true right over them. Now that's pretty cool. This is all this could be Tactics, but maybe Fallout 2. I don't remember exactly which one, but oh, did I say this one is dialogue heavy? Because it is dialogue heavy, so enjoy. I know I am. All right, the only downside with increasing the resolution is I have to scroll a lot more now, but that's fine. What do we want first? Is there a... guy that increases... Yes, daily political power gain. Plus 0.12. Because I'm doing normal difficulty, I need to get as much political power as possible. Especially with some of these. Holy crap. The Great Stockpile. This one's actually really good. The Living Exchange. Oh, hey. I forgot about this. New Canaan. Why not? They're traders. And they'll be around. It's not like some outside force is going to just completely annihilate them. Right. Aggressive. A hood ornament. Let's go into Ruby Valley. If we get more than 20 factories, we get to access to some of these over here, which I think gives us another research slot, which we need. So, the Gold Hills encampment. Gold Hills is not a bad idea, little pit stop, but we must move east to cement our control in Utah, for this is our home, not the lands to the west. Okay, let's keep upping our construction a bit. Alright, go. Fight it! Yeah, you got it. They fall before us. Baptism by blood. The violence was swift and brutal as Chucky smashed the head of the Ruby Valley with his wrench. His swings were turning the victim's skull into a pulpy, gooey mess that frankly one could not consider it belonged to a human. The dead Ruby's 22 pistol laid on his side as Chucky looked around. The bastard got lucky and was able to blow his tires out. He looked all around and members of his gang days were zipping over at 60 to 120 miles per hour. With a lust to hit the Ruby Valley troops like fucking death claws as gore-painted hoods, windshields, and squashed underfoot, comparable to those grindhouse productions. One Ruby Valley member got impaled to a crashed car, whose driver was killed, causing a bullet went through the glass and painted the back seat red. The Ruby guards groaned in pain, with his guts dangling out to the spikes that the car had installed. "Fuck you, Raider bastards," the impaled person said, vomiting blood between words and desperate gasp for fresh air. Chucky did not have time for it to be as he grabbed a 22 pistol from the man. He killed and shot a bullet into the impaled guard's eye. While the bullets were sipping all around him, Chucky moved quickly open the car and pulled the dead outside. The dead will get their tire fire, but now he must live, and he will. On instinct, he pulled the car back, making sure not to hit the incoming traffic, and was exploiting the hole in the valley's defenses. Once he had backed up the car enough to crash and ready to go, he switched it to gear shift 2 and drove it forward to the fight. Time to be made a warrior today. 4 units of Ruby Valley infantry equipment is added. Okay. No, just go that way. Once we take Ruby Valley, it's done. Yep, it's over. Done. Mine. Back to Wendover. Oh yeah, we get to core the whole area. Driving down to the Ruby Valley was easier than we thought it would be. Those losers barely showed resistance, but it was terrific practice for our warriors. Onwards to more worthwhile targets. Who's justifying Ripper Rut territory? Oh, cool. I guess we get another soon. I want Leadfoot and Nerd Rage. In Desert. Although we probably should get Idiot Saving so we could capture their equipment. Doesn't matter. Alright, get rid of explosives because we don't need them. We need vehicles and melee weaponry. How much time do we have for that? 395 days. But they're going to demand the territory back from us. So then they'll have a quick 10-day window to attack us. Burgers and drinks. Ooh, that looks really freaking good. Was that pastrami? Or corned beef? I will have one old school burger with the curly fries, and my friend with a pastrami burger with curlies. 2 Nuka-Cola floats as well. Vigo said the cashiers they waited through the drive-through two-way radio communicator while jury rig was restored. Coarse sugar, drive on up and pay 30 caps. Then you'll get your food. Alright, see you there, Vigo's reply. Vigo and his buddy Joey looked at him as they rested in Vigo's car with Vigo's fingers tapping against the steering wheel. I gotta ask Joey, what do you like that pastrami burger? It's disgusting. Oh, come on. That's because you never had one terrible pastrami burger. The pastrami burger is amazing. Right about the meat, the secret sauce, it's from the Great War. From some immigrants that brought it over from California. What the fuck is an immigrant? I don't fucking know, but it's make a great burger. The sand-hued car moved forward as the cars in front of him paid their service and drove forward. The cashier, a girl they've reckoned wanted to make her own way, waited with them with custom braces and hands at 2 of their meals. With the floats being so relaxing and cold to the touch to both men, Vigo learned from the buckshot in his shoulder, you do not run away, you pay. So he took out the caps and paid her, so they ran off with food once. You two take care now, you hear? She asked as his friend took out the tray from the bag and crumbled it into it while Vigo floored it, heading off into the night. Fresh burgers. Yum. Okay. Where are they getting the pastrami? That's my question. Testing the salts. God, these salt lands are so fucking inhospitable, Annabelle said as she got into her driving armor. It was uncomfortable for these things like this, but hey, better uncomfortable than dead. Though with the heat, she wondered if dying of thirst would happen before she even got into her friend's rig. She looked at her friend who was inhaling the salt air, wearing nothing but a pair of underwear, a do-rag, and a pair of worn-out but strong work boots. With a pair of binoculars hanging around his neck, his bloody white from recently applied sunscreen. God, I love testing these out. Ready when you are, he said as he looked at the near-endless plains of dried salt plains, his voice brimming with excitement. This was one of the most important spots of the 80s, almost some would say holy, for this was the spot where mechanics, drivers, and researchers would put the money where their mouths are and test off new things and new designs. If some serious matters of political importance had to be solved in the old days, they were races across these salt plains. Times have changed, but still these flats would remain important to these hell riders. You ready to go? He asked as she rolled her eyes in annoyance, but in approval. Then let's do this. He replied when she could not have moved faster in the driver's compartment. He had his worries as he saw her adjusting the seatbelt. This place outside the place of graveyards, not without reason. Littered around were the destroyed rubbles of cars, bikes, and other contraptions that took their crews' lives. Somebody had tried to put a plane turbine on an ATV and got eaten alive by the machine. He took that recently purchased speed gun from the box. He had a look on his sight, worried, but he gave the signal. Taking the signal, she lowered her visor and hit the gas pedal. The engine roared violently to life, like some monster on the wasteland that would have made her shit herself. She had not heard it before. 0 to 50 in 2.7 seconds. The G-forces hit her hard, but she powered through, gritting her teeth as she handled that gear shift like it had been a switchblade. 80, 90, 100. The speed checkers read and watched the friend driving that hunk of junk made with the engine he had experimented with. Annabelle was the most dangerous driver he knew, and he was always amazed at her skill at the wheel. 130, 140, 50. Holy shit. He looked at his arm as his friend was becoming more of a speck of dust in his view. With steel and skill, she started to turn the car around. Come on, try to get this damn thing. That car came right back around, going around 160, 170. Her body was feeling the forces. She kept driving faster. 180, 190, 200. It felt like a demon from hell in her hands that would happily kill her. But she loved the speed, the power. The brakes felt a bit weak as she applied them and almost hit her beloved friend who was jumped out of the way. Skid marks on the road made her swear one of the tires must be compromised now. Once fully stopped, the mechanic ran up to her. "I think you just beat the world record with that new engine." He smiled at his female friend, showing her the speed he had captured on the speed gun. At this statement, Belle could not help but let loose a smug smile. Improvements were made this day. Okay. It reduces the penalty for years on vehicle technology. All right. I'll take a quick break. All right. From there, we actually have some political power, so let's add some more effective. So industrial, so up our construction speed like normal. We are set up for the attack by these guys, which I said before is over 389 days. So we'll see about that. I will core these points with this focus tree item that's about to go through. Here we go. A night at the drive-thru. The Hollow movie was playing the drive-in, playing with a family set in the car, eating rat jerky, popcorn, assorted candles, and goodies. It was a bad movie. One of the father and mother had seen it a dozen times and could quietly lip-sync the whole words of the film repeatedly. They blushed a bit. They had their first romantic night at the drive-in movie theater. Seeing this film, it was personal as they held each other's hands like a happily married couple should, focus on each other and memories staring at this film. The kids, though, had never seen the film. Their eyes were as big as possible they could be. Amazed by the story they were watching, they were hooked on it like they were. Stories of laser pistols, jump packs, evil space aliens, and adventures with a bit of romance. Each of them was awestruck by the spectacular event in front of them, with the special effects oohing and awing on the screen. They had never seen something like this, given that events like this usually cost an arm and a leg. However, with 3 films that night, 30 caps a person is not a bad deal. This film was one he and his wife had wanted to show the kids for years. Both had their first date watching this film. The next film was something a little more of a rowdy teen and young adults, involving a teenager slasher hacking through some adults with a kitchen knife and a chainsaw in some camp. Whatever the camp was, the final movie was a dramatic romance period filmed in New Reno that the drive-in owner is proud to have gotten. The kids will be long asleep by the 3rd film. They will drive back home. I'm gonna get another rad dog. Anyone want anything? Papa asks his pompadour swaying in the AC of his car. "Just some gumdrops and fancy cakes. Popcorn, popcorn," the middle child said excitedly. All right, I'll get that," the father said, getting out of his orange-colored creamsicle station wagon and walking out. Folks of all ages were there watching the movies. It was a rare thing to happen. So many do take part in. He's noticed several cars rocking and shaking, couples having their own action scenes, which made him smile. They did conceive their second child in their car. He had a small smile at those naughty nut thoughts. He reached a stall and got his bottle caps, 1 rat dog, some popcorn, and some gumdrops. He said as he looked at the fellow rider working the stall, though some of them focused on the movie. "Okay, that'll be 25 caps," he said as more focus, which the father did provide. A few seconds later, the man got his food and started to return to his car, smiling even wider as the major plot twist was about to happen. He couldn't help but smile. He loved being with his family and having these moments of bonding. He will have to return to the front, but for now, he could just be a father. Such fun. Now, at this time, I think for Fallout 2, there's movies being made in New Reno. Secret Meatloaf. Okay. Riding Ruby Valley. The Ruby Valley Refuge was settled cowards who swept aside during the Nevada Road War. They fled the Ruby Valley, but the other conquests, they learned they could run, but they can't ride. 2 of the other drivers distinguished themselves. Furiosa was able to hold a position amongst enormous odds, while Major Kalashnikov kept men driving through the night to strike exposed positions. Which one shall be honored? Only one could be honored. Furiosa or the Major? Division speed attack or recovery rate in division defense? I think in defense. Furiosa. All right, what do we want to do next? More advanced weapons? 30 days to get that. I think I want these first. I can always get that later. The Gold Hills Exchange. We can welcome caravans at Golden Hills instead of relying on sporadic trader contacts. This will only encourage commerce and prosperity. Perhaps we could do more than raid. Yes, you can. Promote! The little farm turns into. We have ministers for that. Farm and a few more huts. Not tents, but huts. Where do you even get the wood out there? Let's make sure we have production so we have proper resources for the items I'm going to be building. Make sure we get 5 going here, and we'll get 4 going here. What if I change this to Mobile Enforcer? How will that affect us? It just adds 25 more infantry armor. And it does raise our armor, raises our suppression. I'm gonna do it. Oh, I can't even do it. Damn. Never mind. Never mind. All right, keep going. The roller girl shows. Flagman walked into the underground arena, watching the crowd as screaming and hollering and display before them. They were hungry for blood, and he could tell that they were enjoying the show, cheering onwards at the bloodlust. However, there were no cars. Instead, people were moving via shoes attached on wheels around the racetrack, all centered around a ball. He had learned that this dirty blood sport that was not authorized by him was hinged around balls. The team that could compete the most laps while holding ball by the end of the timer wins. Of course, he observed the blood sport. Having the ball and scoring with it are two very different things. One woman would fly fast on her roller shoes while like Predator and smash another girl, sending the victims to wipe out on the bloody derby floor, while another would put on the brass knuckles to hit one, breaking the girl's nose. It was a bloody and messy affair as a crippled man took off his glasses and adjusted them to witness the violence. It was entertaining and fulfilled the bloodlust of the crowd. Just then, he noticed one girl with the word Roxy written on her back, driving hard and slamming her foot into the ball carrier's ankle as the clock ran down. The other woman howled like a wounded animal and dropped the ball. Roxy scooped the ball and did her damnedest to avoid getting hit by rivals as the seconds went down, dodging and weaking like a bat out of hell. The crowd was losing their minds as it started to chant the downward countdown to the time as she fought hard and dodged while holding the ball. Finally, when the clock struck down to 0, the crowd roared in approval of the victory. With wild praise and approval, it was all. It was all at that point that Flagman made himself known. Rolling up to the silence of the crowd, this was considered a crime for sports should vehicles or a more traditional fighting style. Not this. With the breaking out of the outcome that could allow for folks to be executed or worse. Who is the leader of this sport and founder of these games, he asked, and he eyed the women in their combat skates attire. To his surprise, it was a person who had caught the ball with that Roxy shirt. Up close, he could see the bruises and the marks that covered her body and her large black eye. I am the person who founded it. Can we discuss this in private, she asked, given her condition. He could not really argue. God damn it, I just lost that. Sorry about that. I was trying to bring it up. I don't even know what the 2 options were. Shit. Hope I didn't screw that up. That really sucks. Hey, we got more political power. Let's do more daily political power gain. I like that. Is Roxy on there? No. There. Oh, okay. Oh, I guess I didn't support the roller sports. My bad. Whatever shit happens. 137,000 caps. Let's keep going. More arms. Flagman has decreed that new weapons plants will be built in Golden Hills. The benefit of the people. While we can do work in Wendover to appease Thunderbird, our home is Nevada. Where's Golden Hills again? Right there. One thing I need to do is get daily army experience. Okay, that's done. That's done. Let's get Ohm's Law going so we get like a little bit of a boost on our research. That would have been cool to get ruler troops. I mean, that's what one of those technology is for. And they have them over here. These guys, I think. One of these guys. Okay, we got that done. We got a bit of time on that, so let's actually work on some vehicles. Distribute the armor! Monthly population plus 25. Nomadic centralization. Although we will never abandon the open road, some of our people are willing to settle down. This has given us greater strength and discipline. Indeed. Oh, hey, I can actually do that now. Cool. So let's get a theorist. Flagman. Ground combat. I actually like that one because it gives us plus 0.15 every day. Oh, and let's get the living exchange so we get purchase warriors. So use the money that we get to buy manpower, which should always be available. How are we on this? 162, 750. Let's train some more. How are we on that? So that's 69. Nice. 69. Nice. 64. So we get 89 for that. So it only gets better as we keep going. Now this mod system, this extra mods, did a rework of New Canaan, White Lakes, 80s, and the little group in Esmeralda. In addition, Troll Warren has a bigger focus tree setup. But that's like different mods that all work together. The Great Tank Vault. Here's the thing. Before the war, the part of the former United States used to be a logistics hub for 6 other states. Basically, they would hold all the weapons and war gear here and bring them out in case shit really went down, since Utah didn't really have any massive military targets or shit like that. However, since Utah didn't... Okay. However, since everyone got nuked and turned into dust, everyone forgot about these things, man. Rico said as he pushed the elevator's down arrow. Dale looked unimpressed as he lit a cigar. Up in the elevator, cracked and groaned in his mechanical voice and descended downwards. So, what are you expecting some goddamn magic to be found? Prospecting ain't my kind of field, you know. You bitched and moaned about it. I'm aware this ain't your thing, but hold on. He says the elevator dropped down and the power went on for the works. Holy. See? Told you. He added he saw waves upon waves of battle tanks in near good mint condition, ready to do their job. What do you think we'll get for this? Honestly, don't know. The new Armored Fist of the 80s coming up. Did they actually... In previous Fallouts, they use a crap ton of tanks up here. Especially when they fought the calculator over in Boulder. Alright, we got that done. We can continue on with these and get these going too. Drive by... Okay, what is this? Drive by Eastport. Where do we get that one? Where's Drive by Eastport? Nah, it must be nuts. Alright, we'll save it for later. Stable production. Let's do that. Appears it's easier to produce firearms in single building instead of the back of a trailer pulled into the waist. Neat. How long until this is done? Oh, halfway there. And we'll be fine. Alright, done with that. Let's work on agriculture. Probably should get guns going. Instead of just melee weapons. Drive me closer. I want to hit them with my wrench. Okay, got that. Got that. Probably help us out if we hand cart. Not hand and cart. It's like foot and mouth disease. Screw you, elk pass. Posse. I know, Elko posse. I get it. Okay, we got that. Let's check out wall painter. Ooh, construction. Settlement builder. I try to be a settlement builder. So am I missing anything at all? No, it's that one needs to be worked on. By the way, let's fix up whoever is doing this one. So that's 10. That's 21. 0.62. How bad is that for us? Oh, we still have plenty. The Slave Pits of Utah or the Wendover Outriders. I like the Slave Pits of Utah.
That's a good thing.
Utah is a dry land, but there is much to take from the earth, and we could always get more slaves. Let's get multi-purpose equipment. Hey, can we upgrade? No, not yet. Handcart's done. This won't take long. Powered handcarts. Upgrades, ups the efficiency. I've never seen that picture. That's cool. Alright. Probably should get as many groups as possible there. The road builders. Okay, gas stations. Gold Hills has grown to be now support a small fuel depot. The 80s can now fuel their cars with biofuels and energies from the sun in this thriving town. Although Thunderburst still takes resources for his mad quest west. Yeah. Let's get working on some weapons. Sawed-off shotgun. Witness me! Okay, I want to save up 150 to get that done. That's done. That's not done. It actually grew really quickly. All right, what's next? What's next? These take forever to work on. Combat language. Why not? Almost there. The living exchange is almost done. How many more days? A little over 100. Let's Keep training these guys. How many can we build? Let's get 3. Try to get 3. Yeah, we'll take some followers. Why not? We're building an empire. All right, we got that going. Got that going. Here, let's up our plating. We have so much left to do with that one. Park our cars. Hit the gas. Why should we settle down? Let Thunderbirds prepare for the great ride west. The open road awaits. We'll get 4 building slots, 3 civilian. Yeah, we'll do that. What do we need? We need 194 infantry armor. We could buy warriors. We could buy... Oh. I'll spend 100 for that. Because it ups our research 10%. Hungry for glory. Forced conscription. Welder's work. I should be putting money into this. Jeez. Build garages for war effort. Build pit stops for truckers. I think I'll do that. And that. Monster truck. Oh, I forgot about these ones. I need to do this. But we need to invest in Wendover. But here, I have the command power, so I can do this. They sell on Area 15 or 51. Run over Deathclaws. When all else fails, Thunderbird can boost support by killing the Deathclaws and returning their heads to camp. Sadly, not every corpse has a salvageable head for some reason. I'll remember to continue to get those taken care of. Here. More research. Oh, I'm worried about that. 18 to my 13. Here, I have plenty of weapons. I make 2 a day. I need 190, so 80 days. Hit the gas. Try to get those factories going. God damn it. Our parking lot. You know, I could probably use arms workshop, so we're going to do that. Basic ballistic weaponry. Oh, I should have done that before I even got the... We should begin working on advanced weapons to clash with our enemies. Guns are a massive tool that we should be trying to advance in the fight against our foes. I regret that. Up north. Stealing from heaven. And then mission for Vangraphs. The locked garage. That was truly a trophy the battle-brave Thunderbird set down before them. Under the garage from the Lake Saskatchewan pirates, he stole vehicles swift and true. Encased under the ice of the ghoul layer, the weapons would do far better in the hands of the heroes than the lands of trolls and broken cold. From the lands of Canadians, Thunderbirds has stolen 80 pre-war tanks that should be deployed in the march west. Capitol Hill's fallen. Who cares? Oh, hey, would you look at that? The hero of the valley. The valley of the Jolly Green Giants. Blowing off steam, so that means the steam guy's lost. The road east. A Mother Bay Thunderbird to transport a package to Montana, a cargo of plasma and gold to an Indian queen. Against the Brotherhood, he ran, speared, and bloody cars, burning rubber and dusty winds, loaded with thunder and guns of lightning hue. Nightly foes, I know they were, the Enclave guns all new. Thunderbird howl and bit his wheel under an endless sky. Home from Montana, hasten he westward, waiting for her favor and to hear once more her sigh. Let us mount these guns in my car, so I get a bunch of energy weapons. Nope, none of those pretty. How far are we on that one? 26. How many days left on this guy? Ooh, 20 days. I don't think we have enough days to train these guys, so once they have all the equipment, we'll force them to the front on this one. So you can either do motorcycles or salvage trucks. I think I'll do that and just upgrade these. Am I missing anything? No. Our parking lot. Some claim we have changed by settling down, but just because many of us live in Wendover does not mean we abandoned our freedom. The old ways are always with us. So we get stability. Alright, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do auto machine guns. Warrior equipment. How many days? Under 20. Like 15. How many days for this? 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, just load them up. Go! Actually, cancel that. How many vehicles we got? Can we make every one of these guys? Yes, we can. I have every bit of faith in you guys. I mean, I have to. This is the first frickin' episode. Justification for the territory. Come at me, bro. Yep.
Oh! Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up! You have fucked up now! Now you fucked up! Now you fucked up!
50. Oh, hey, I forgot one little thing I was going to change. Sorry about that. 50, 92, 51. Okay. I think they failed on that. Their initial attempt at me. Killed 62 of them. See if they attack again. They're still preparing. I'm gonna give them time to prepare. And I'm gonna roll into them. Hey, we got enough factories. Word of the elders. The elders saw as our people of the journey from California, past Reno, Vault City, and the Master's remnants. Perhaps they will have more to teach us. Alright, next, let's increase our production and efficiency. What's next? What's next? Elite Mechanics. 56. You get that motherfucking blowtorch over here. We got 3 rigs that need to be upgraded. Chop chop. Diaz, stop fucking around and help Albert with his installing that new engine. Fuck. That sounds cool. Alright, you guys ready? Don't care. We're going. Guess what? We broke through. Means you do this. Run over there. Actually, you just go here. Break there. Break into that. Help them. Force attack. Come on, you can do it. Breakthrough. Reform the lines. Now go.
Sir.
No, go this way. Now walk right into that. Duck water will be ours. How's our casualties? 69. Nice. 316. We need caravans. Oh, cool. Followers, help our people. Where you at? Settlements and speed. Research speed. Vehicle modifications. Actually sounds cool. They're falling before us. 93 to their 371. Is there any clear, obvious areas we could break through? They have a power armor. Come on, I believe in you. How bad is it for us? 115. Okay, not bad. We still have positive on all of our equipment. They're gonna break through that first. Oh, add a little extra positives. People of the wind, the 80s are the fastest of the waste, and many of us have become couriers in Nevada. We will go wherever the wind takes us, and none will stand in our way. We'll get 300,000 bottle caps. Oh, speaking of which, can we up the... Nope, not yet. Almost there. Nothing for me there. Purchase stockpiles of weapons. That's not bad, actually. Let's keep looking. Look over Dugway Proving Ground. Okay, maybe later. Get the new engines. The V18s. Hey, we broke through that. Hey, let's see if we can cut this guy off. Damn it. Maybe cut that guy off. Damn it. And we broke them. They're falling back pretty quickly. Cut them off pretty quickly. Alright. They're stuck in that little corner. They're gone. Crescent Valley. Their numbers of 13 divisions versus my 16 at full strength. This will be over soon. The City of Banners. Each band of the 80s flies of its own banner. The honor of the great races before the war. When we fly the banners, our tribe will come home to prepare for the amazing race west. Adds 5,000 population to 2 areas. Which helps quite a bit. Gets us more fighting men. 1,000 dead, 293 for me. Almost got their capital. Done. And we got some leftover equipment. Do not push us around, Vipers. I will fuck you up. Alright, we're gonna work it next. Probably vehicles. Build the great racetrack. Probably the great stockpile. We could actually no. We're gonna save the political power for later. Ooh, invest in that. Get care packages. We will not be pushed around. We negative anymore? I think we're good. New crossroads. Vehicle parts. Infantry parts. Okay, with that, I think I'm going to end this episode. The White Legs seem to be attacking the Timekeepers. Crap. Honestly, the last time I tried this, the White Legs attacked me first, which ruined everything. Because I got my ass kicked. I don't have a vehicle manufacturer on here, unfortunately. Oh yeah, I was going to change this. I need 150 for that. Okay, so thank you so much for watching of this episode of the 80s. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Please like and subscribe and comment however you feel. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ta.